chance to speak at the last couple of meetings that has something to contribute?
Hi, I'm Bill Newman, and I don't know if you're going to think I have something to contribute, but I did contribute about a 7-page single-spaced letter that I hope is of some help. I'd just like to take a couple minutes, if I could, just to make a few observations, and I appreciate your comments. I agree political speech has to be given the widest berth. I agree it can't be treated less advantageously than other speech in a given district. And I agree that you cannot have discretion or any significant discretion in a municipal official deciding which speech is permissible and which is not. I think those are really crucial considerations, and I think I'd like to add, before I go 1 second further, I appreciate all the work that's gone into this. It's not an easy topic. This is not easy drafting. Lawyers can disagree about some of it, although the things I want to talk about, I don't think there's a lot of disagreement about. And I appreciate all the work that's gone into it. I don't in any way diminish that, and I think as a community involvement project, I think we should all appreciate that. That said, I just want to make a couple of observations about some examples of what really came to mind when I was writing that. And if anyone wants it, I've brought about 10 extra copies of the letter. If anyone wants it, I'm happy to distribute it. And if there's any interest in it, I'll see if the ACLU can put it online. There's no secret what it is. But for example, you talk about those sidewalk signs. I mean, some of the issues are about private property, some of the issues are about public property. So when it comes to public property, I'll just give an example or two. You talk about those sandwich board signs. And by the way, the ACLU actually endorses commercial speech beyond which the court endorses commercial speech. So you don't have to fight with the ACLU about commercial speech. Generally speaking, the more speech, great. When it comes to a sidewalk, you can obviously impose reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. No question about that. And safety on the sidewalks is a legitimate municipal concern. No question about that. Many municipalities like those sandwich board signs. And I live in Northampton, and I work in Northampton, and we have lots of them, and they're great. And I think they add to the ambience of downtown. They give useful information. I think the merchants find it great advertising. It's really helpful for people coming out of town to go here, shop there, do this, eat here. I think it's great. And what the ordinance should say, in my opinion, and I'm not going to get involved in the issue of writing the ordinance in any way, but if you give, for example, a merchant the right to put out a sandwich board so large in front of his establishment, what you don't want is a municipal official deciding on the content of what's on that board. So, for example, an eatery has a sign that says, come have the Martha Coakley for lunch sandwich. Okay, $5. No problem there, right? I mean, but if you leave out the word sandwich, have Martha Coakley for lunch, then according to this ordinance, it's illegal. Well, those are the kind of decisions that, respectfully, I don't think you want any municipal official to have to make, or should he make. And to give that kind of discretion as to what kind of speech is impermissible is itself unconstitutional. You can't have one government official saying, yeah, that one's fine, no, I don't think that one, yeah, that's pretty good if you change that comma. That is exactly what the First Amendment says the government can't do. And there are drafting issues in this proposed ordinance that lead to exactly to that kind of discretion, which is precisely what the Constitution says the government should not have the right to regulate when it comes to private individual speech. So there are a series of issues regarding use of public ways, sidewalks, and then there are another series of issues involving private property. And the major point I've tried to make, and I went into some detail on the individual sections of the proposal, but the big picture, the broad brush picture, is that political speech has to be treated at least as well as any other speech in those particular zones and areas. And that is the significant shortcoming of this draft in its present iteration, because you cannot say, fine, special event for X, you get a sign that is large as you want for as long as you want. But when it comes to a political speech or a political event, it's got to be this small. You cannot have political speech essentially be a second-class citizen to other kinds of speech. And those are, in broad brush terms, what I see as the significant problems in the proposal. I have gone in great detail, I think, significant detail, 7 pages, single spaces. I guess anyone would say it's pretty significant detail about this proposal. I'm happy to share it, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And I'm trying to play a productive role here. Thank you.